discretion is advised.
Happy Saturday. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 98, and we are in patch 6.2.3. Tonight, we are going to be talking about all the Legion editions that have come out in the latest alpha build. This does include new models. We're going to be highlighting some of the Druid artifact changes for the Guardian and the Feral. Cloaks are finally actually matching in an expansion. Who would have thought? And we're also going to have a Warlock Class Hall breakdown and much, much more. So make sure you guys stay right here.
In the World of Warcraft trade chat, troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the Pwnecast podcast. These are their stories.
Welcome back. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the Death Knight who likes to have strawberry sherbet before the show, Lycan.
Can I tell the whole story of why strawberry sherbet's a thing?
Do it. I dare you.
Please.
It's your death wish.
It is my death wish. I would be getting a visit from Belle to my house, but let's just say, yeah, my wife and I enjoyed some strawberry sherbet. It's good.
What does that mean exactly?
Can I tell the whole story?
Did you put the chocolate syrup on top, or
No, we're not going to tell the whole story because that's just weird. We're not going to tell that story. Well, we're glad you're here.
I made it.
Shades and all, the sunglasses and the. Where's your? Don't you normally have like a fedora?
He looks like a rock star.
It's a flat cap, and I can't find him. It's probably in my son's room again.
Fucking fedora. Let's call it like it is, okay? Well, we're glad you're here. I did also bring the shaman who is higher than a kite right now. Huge bloke.
That's not necessary.
That's funny.
I was trying to, oh, fuck it. I was trying to play it off that I was fine and dandy and doing well. No, I may be a little bit not as coherent as I would like to be for a lovely Sunday afternoon catch up with my friends such as thusly.
You look really, really stoned.
I'm just watching all the pretty pictures on the computer screen. It's pretty fucking
By
entertaining,
drugs,
to
I
be
don't
honest.
mean like the normal drugs, guys. I'm talking about heroin here.
That's it.
What we're talking about.
Straight in the banger.
What? Okay, I'm going to move on because shit just got really, really weird.
Weird.
I did also bring the boomkin that does secret raid things because I don't know what the fuck this guy did this week. So I'm just going to be real and let you know that I didn't have an intro for him. But I did bring hots for shots.
I did secret squirrel things while I was in the raids, and I made sure that we pew-pewed the bosses and we killed them, and I for the most part I only died very miserable deaths because not paying attention to the lackluster of
There's that word again, lackluster. What does that even mean?
I remember watching that episode where you were saying how you didn't know what that meant. I was laughing so hard.
The lacking of luster.
Yeah.
You're looking very rugged today, Hots. Are you?
I had a really, really rough night. Like it was a very interesting long night.
Got it.
And it didn't involve gaming.
Even more awkward. Moving right along, I did also bring the monk who wants Jaina Proudmore to rub Vicks on his chest, Gemma Banks.
I'm not feeling good, and my mommy's not around to do it, so I need someone to put Vicks on my chest.
That's so weird.
Counterclockwise, so we don't mat the chest hair.
Put the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again.
I think my 4 chest hairs will be fine.
You're not less of a man, but I want to say that I probably have more chest hair than you do. We have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into all the things. The Apexis event is happening now. So make sure you guys go and do your stuff and get a Apexis. If you are interested in that, you can buy a mount and buy all the things, including the upgrades for the Baleful gear and all that fun stuff. So make sure that you go in and get all of your crystals, and I don't mean crystals as in crystal meth, just crystals in general. we talked about this last episode. I think Jim had kindly let us know about the battle stones, right? The epic battle stones. They've been testing them in Legion. They have removed those. I think they got whatever feedback they got.
She stole my segment.
Hi, I do the notes and they're public notes. It's not my fault if you don't read.
I'm just joking.
Reads these days. Jeez.
I don't.
I didn't take a page from Bloke's book and I didn't snake
That's
your
why I
whole
have to drop-
segment.
That's why I don't. Anyways.
He stole my whole segment. Not even just a part of it. Literally, my whole segment.
That's how the pros do it, man.
So yeah, they've actually decided that with feedback that they did receive in alpha that they're actually not going to. I know that they have some other ways that they're trying to make it where it's not so easy, but kind of gives people kind of a reason to do it and not making it as easy. So we'll just have to have Jim stay tuned on the alpha front to let us know how that goes. Now, it's not very often that I like a lot of mounts in game, right? Because I think typically 90% of them are reskins. But when I seen the skeletal warhorse, I thought very much of Lycan because it looks pretty badass. Like it screams, "Hi, I'm a DK. I ride a bony horse." So, did you guys get a chance to check that out?
Negative.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I
It
did.
looks absolutely amazing. But I'm really curious as to, is it going to be one of those undead faction mounts, or is it going to be like between between both factions, or I don't want to get too hyped about it and then be like, "Oh, I'm Alliance the entire expansion."
It's badass, but it almost looks like I know the undead, but it's got the big horns on the front. I hope it's not an undead mount. I mean, it looks like it would be, but that thing is
Undead
gorgeous.
Gazelle.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
legit.
thought it was like a PvP reward.
What's
That was my guess.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
it's still a
that's
horde.
the direction it was heading in. I
Oh.
totally want one. I'm
Yeah.
not entirely
There
sold
it
on
is.
how I have to get it, but I want one.
You got to be horde. It's orc, undead, tauren, troll, goblin, blood elf, or Pandaren. So
Well,
it
you
is
better-
a horde
you're gonna have
PvP
to-
mount.
You're gonna have to be a horde but I think it looks pretty legit. I'm pretty excited to see some DKs on this bad boy. I mean, obviously it's horde only, but I think that's pretty legit. I don't mind
It
it.
is awesome.
Yeah, I just want to ride the fish, so if we could make that a thing, that'd be great. I want to ride the shark. No pun intended. So I think it's funny when they have to distinguish the fact that they've made a statement. Blizzard made, there was a blue tweet that went out in regards to the cloaks and how they're making sure that they actually match your items, right? Your other items. Now, I know as a transmogger myself, I don't do anything unless I'm properly transmogged. I got to be on point 24/7 or I'm not happy. I will often ask for a transmog mount before we continue to the next boss of whatever we're doing because I can't ride into battle now.
Well, now can't you do that yourself?
I did buy myself that mount finally. I
Congrats.
did finally. But I think the cloaks have always been a bone of contention for me. And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but I feel like the cloaks have always been kind of an afterthought, right? I think that's just like some shit they throw together that kind of looks similar to the other stuff in the tier, but I feel like the cloaks have not really been like a forethought when it comes to the items that we wear, which in truth, I think that should be the most important piece outside of the chest piece, right? I think your cloak, because people, they see, your cloak as you're running or what, or even just standing there. I think that the cloak it's not just an accessory. I think it should be a forethought. So with that, I'm pretty excited that it looks like the cloaks are going to start matching. And I would like to see some different types of cloaks, right? They always have the same form. The couple that I saw, they have kind of like a cool thing at the end of it. It's like an indent on each side. It looks like they're kind of going with some different type of styles instead of just your standard, just long and short style. Because I would like to see some differences there. I would like to see more options as far as the back piece goes. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited to match.
To be honest, I've been running so long without a cloak just because they've all looked horrible. There's and like I have almost like the traditional DK starter gear, and there's even that cloak of the north that they gave you at the starting zone doesn't even look right with it. So I really wish they would. I'm glad to see that they're going to do some updates with it.
I don't rock a cloak on any of my characters. Not because of the look, it just feels weird. I don't know.
I've
No
had
cloaks.
it turned off for a very, very long time, and
Did
I
the
don't.
DeLorean just engage? What just happened right there? Am I the only one that heard that?
No, I heard it too. I was just like, But no,
Wait, hold on. What was that? Are
It
the
sounded like
Autobots
one of those like
assembling?
Flash.
It
sounds
sounded like,
one of
a,
those
like a
Flash.
laser prime. I was kind of.
Thought his Pikachu was dying.
I don't have any words for that.
No,
Freaking out
Pikachu.
right now.
Yeah, I'm cloakless as we speak. Well, no, I have the guild cloak, but most of 99% of the transmogs I'm cloakless because there's nothing that matches. I mean, you could come kind of close, but not really. Just kind of sits there. And I like the animation of when you're running in the cloak, like, you know, does the thing in the. No, I'm the only one.
I only liked it on my one lady character, and I don't have one anymore.
Well,
I
mean,
I think of that little lady in Incredible saying no cloaks. You know.
No kick.
Yeah, no
No
kick.
kick.
I just don't have a cloak because they all look ugly, and like
Yeah.
that's the way that I spend most of my time looking at my character. I want to see the transmog, not just a piece of red cloth just hanging there, and like that's just.
let's be honest, you know, Belle has a great butt, right? So I agree with that. I do like to just stand there and just, you know, it's a good view to have, right? If you're going to have a view, I'm the only one here? Some of you guys roll female characters just so you can steal a female's ass instead of a man. So clearly I'm not the only one.
No, I made a
No.
Yes.
Hots always rolls a male character so he can stare at his ass.
and I made a female character for the first time to pretend I was a girl when I first started playing WoW.
Right, because you wanted to make sure you got a good catch in a man there. I'm with you, Jim.
No, it was because I didn't know how to read the quest and I didn't use Thoughtbot, so I was looking for someone to help me. So I did pretend to be a female.
Oh, you're that guy? Gross. This just in, ladies and gentlemen, Jim will do pee-pee touches for help in game. You heard it here first.
I was naughty Nick.
That's so awful. We're terrible individuals. So I checked out the animations regarding, you know, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that arguably one of the most interesting sets of artifacts is for the Druid. And I think that the Druid is one of the most complicated in that nature because there's so many elements, right? You're dealing with a lot of different specs. You're dealing with a lot of different things going on in one character. But I think, so we've got for the Feral, you've got the Fangs of Ash. Is it Ashamane? Ashamane? I think it's Ashamane.
Ashamane.
I'm sure somebody will
Ashamane.
correct me out there in the real world. I'm sure some of you will have something to say about it. But the animations and the way that this looks and the different customizations that you can have with it, which for you guys, if you haven't seen it, I did link it there for you. But I like the direction that they're going with making the Druid, making you want to play your Druid, right? It's more of a shit. I have a Druid and now I'm actually going to have to play it so I can play through to get these artifact weapons, even if I don't play Feral, but I'm going to roll a Feral just specifically for some of these spell animations. If you guys haven't seen it, I encourage you guys to go over to Wowhead and check out. They have really, really great animations as far as that goes. But to no end, also Guardian. So one of my biggest issues with Druids has always been the look of the Guardian Druid, right? Because it's just a giant bare ass in your face. There's nothing really spectacular about it. And I felt like it wasn't giving that specific spec its due credit, right? It was just kind of like this just giant bare ass, no ruse, no nothing, just a big bare butt. And I'm glad that they have taken that and kind of ran with it with the claws of your sock. Oh,
Ursock.
man.
Is that what it's called?
Wow.
Your sock, yeah.
The claws of Ursock. Ursock was
Your
the.
sock, my sock, his sock. Fuck, it's a sock. I don't know.
Your sock's under your desk.
No, it's not under my desk. Miguel's going to yell at me. Don't say that.
It does look badass, actually.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
the different customizations that you could have for that, and it makes the bear druid, it makes them scary to me, right? Because prior I didn't really, there was no like scare factor. You're a guardian druid, you're a tank, you should just be badass, right? You should just step into some situation as a tank and I should just know that you're, but instead, previously I just want to cuddle you, right? I just want to hug you and love you and give you honey and do all those things like Winnie the Pooh. Here, we've got a really, really legit customization here that they have with some of the different colors that you can choose. The look of it's really, really awesome. And once again, the animations. What is that? The bear swipe? What is it called? There's like
Swipe.
like the animations, they're really, really doing some good things with this. And I'm pretty excited. Once again, if you guys haven't checked that out, I encourage you to do so. Hots, you're our resident druid expert. Weigh in on the situation.
I'm 100% ecstatic about it because it's, for the longest time, you've always had, you know, like, oh, well, I main feral, I'm a cat, I'm a night elf, and they added you can change your colors of your fur and whatnot, and I was like, that's cool, like, it gives a little bit more customization, but then you have all these people running around with all the transmogs on, but there's like almost no point to transmog if you play feral or guardian because you're going to spend 90% of your time in game as either a bear or a cat. So, the most you worry about is the fur color. So now they're adding a little bit more or a lot more customization of those, and that's always been I'm pretty sure that's something that everyone has always sought after. Pew!
What is that? I swear it's like the priming of a laser happening in the background. I don't know if the Autobots are going to roll out right now or if we're going to war. So if somebody...
You leave Optimus out of this. He's fucking amazing.
If you guys that are watching can hear that laser priming sound, it's really creeping me the fuck out. I'm not going to lie.
I think he's got one of those things where he just pushes different buttons for sound effects. Pew pew.
Is that you, Lycan?
No.
Are you Alex?
I remember what it is.
Shout out to Alex.
I think too, with getting back to the topic at hand, I think with one thing they could probably do to get rid of the whole the cat issue or the bear issue is why not transmog some of the adornments that are on the cat or on the bear. So when you transform, like if you have a piece of guardian gear that you transform in, it would add certain layers of armor or some type of decoration when you would actually shapeshift into that. And that would be a neat layer that they could put into it. So this way there would be some customization of bears. So when you have, say, 4 or 5 bears standing there in Orgrimmar or in Stormwind, they would all look different and unique because of the gear that they have on.
I would be very scared to find the Slutmogs.
But what bothers me and what's always bothered me is the shapeshift form in general when the animation happens to shapeshifting. Now, this could just be me, so you guys can feel free to make fun of me all you want to. But the type of world that I live in, the movies I watch, the books that I like to read, the envision that I have when it comes to shapeshifting from what I know of that specific pop culture, there's no, I would like to see, some, skin removal or, like you would envision when a shapeshifting would occur, right? Some physical change that's happening. It could be really, really quickly, but maybe clothing falling off or you're wearing clothes and then you're bare ass. Where's your clothes? Do you get what I'm saying in that aspect? Like
with the Worgans, when you go from Worgan from human to Worgan mode, you actually take one arm, throw it out this way, and it turns into claws. The other turns into claws, and then you see that dark spirit come behind him before he turns. And it only takes, a half a second, 2 seconds at the most to transform. But you're right, that would be neat.
Now, get it, I understand. Druids are fluid. They're one with nature, right? I understand why they don't do that, right? It makes perfect sense. But I would like to see, I don't know. I don't really main druids, but I would like to see them get some love in the shape-shifting aspect and make it a little bit more whimsical, I guess. That's probably not even the right word. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, guys, but I'm hoping you guys understand what I mean.
I 100% understand what you're talking about, but the issue is the animation compared to the global cooldown. The global cooldown for me right now is a little over a second, so they would have to make an animation that matches over a second.
I'm not thinking werewolves. That's not what I was talking about. I was just talking about shapeshifting in general. Werewolves are not the only shapeshifters in the fantasy world. But
why not?
I would love to see something, but they would have to make something that's shorter than a second of an animation.
But why not even
for clothing falling away? Something super. It could be super quick, fast. That isn't. It's not gonna mess with any cooldowns.
I think we should just be happy that they did some stuff with. You know what I mean?
But
why not less? Go ahead, bloke.
Go ahead, bloke.
I was going to say, I want to see when they shapeshift into the cat form. The only armor that should ever be showing in cat form is the feet. But then they would have to change the animation so that the cat walks really stupid. Because if you've ever looked that shit up on YouTube, it's hilarious. Because they can't feel their feet, so they walk all stupid. I totally want to petition Blizzard to put that shit in game. Then I'll play my druid.
I guess we should also be lucky that druids are not anatomically correct in that sense too, because that would probably be weird. Right?
Especially with the cat looking behind the cat with its tail up.
I mean, that would be
awkward.
twig and berries just swinging and stuff. It's probably inappropriate, I'm sure.
You can get bedazzles to cover that now.
Oh, but gosh, please don't make me deal with the pearl butthole thing for the cat.
And rings? Rings?
See, that could be spots. A transmog item coming into Legion when you're in cat form and you run along.
It's a new gym slot. It's feral druid only.
Jim's face is like, what the fuck? Why am I even here? Who brought me to this fucking party? It's
just another normal day with Funcast, to be honest.
It's just another normal day. Also, I want to make sure I talk about the PvP hotfix that was in effect a couple days ago, just in case any of you are wondering. So for Frost DKs, Frost Strike now deals 10% less damage against another player. Obliterate now deals 10% less damage against another player. For the Mage, as far as Frost is concerned, Deep Freeze now stuns other players for 4 seconds, which is down from 5, which is, oh god, we're all going to die because it's a whole second. And Ice Nova Talent now deals 20% less damage against another player. For the Priest, Glyph of Reflective Shield now reflects 35% of the damage, down from 70, with the Priest on Power World Shield while in PvP combat. Remember, we talked about this. We like when they deal with PvP separately and they don't make it affect PvE, so I do like that they are continuing that distinction. And then for Warrior, Execute now deals 10% less damage against another player. For Arms, Mortal Strike now deals 10% less damage against another player as well. I did want to make sure that I talked about this next week. I'll be going in and doing some PvP in Alpha. I'm going to give a whole next week. There's going to be a huge segment just talking about the new PvP system. It's finally open in Alpha. I'm going to go check that out. Destruction's not currently available as a spec in Alpha, so I'm not really sure what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm going to have to Druid it up or something because no.
You want to try it?
No. But I am going to pick another spec, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to check out what the new honor system is all about so I can get some firsthand knowledge so that we can have a really good talk about it on the show, and kind of talk about what we're looking at minus any tweaks and stuff that are going to be done. So make sure you guys look out for that.
I'm excited for that.
Because my class, unfortunately, is the biggest of whiners. To all you DKs out there, shut up. It's about time DKs got a nerf. They were way overpowered in there.
Nerf. Hello?
But my second question is, where's the Paladin nerf? Oh, that's right. They never do those.
I could still kill a Paladin really easily, though. I don't think they need a nerf.
They do. They always need a nerf.
I don't think so. I could kill a Paladin really easy.
Red Paladins have been in the ground for the past, like, 5 or 6 expansions. Like, they'll be really good. They'll be really good for, like, the start of an expansion. Yeah. And then not even halfway through it, they're not even
But let's remember our golden rule regarding nerfs and buffs. It all comes down to a player skill set. 150%. Like, that's okay, we can deal with nerfs and we can deal with buffs and all that stuff. But I guess I don't consider Paladins needing a nerf or being terrible because I've been up against a lot of really amazing Paladins. So I hate DKs in general, specifically when they grip me and I'm trying to run places, because it's fucking rude. If you could not put me in a different location, because that would be great. But I think I haven't had a chance to really check out the stuff in Legion, and to be honest, I'm really scared about it. So, but I did go check out the Warlock Order Hall. The Class Order Hall is going to be what we're talking about. I was most excited to see this because I didn't do any of the research in the last couple months about the Order Hall specifically. Now, I do want to do a small disclaimer before I do this. I went into this completely objective, not wanting to be like all wooed by the fact that I'm a Warlock and love all things. With that being said, please understand that this is my opinion. If I upset or offend anybody, I don't know what else to tell you. So you know that some of this is not going to be great. The Order Hall is going to be, it's the Hall of the Guardian, which is, it's basically a rift in the Twisting Nether. So Dead Scar Rift is what it's called. Very reminiscent of the Twisting Nether and all of that stuff. I appreciated kind of where they took it. I appreciated that when you walk through, you have all your classic demons. You have your Black Harvest guys. You have all your, you see your classic demons in there. I was really disappointed, though. I'm not going to lie. I like the nods that they did, and I like that it did feel very Warlock in nature, but if I'm going to be 150% honest, it didn't feel like my type of Warlock situation. I'm really, really hoping that they're going to be tweaking, adding things, because all it did to me is look like a Burning Legion zone. That's kind of how I felt, and I wanted it to be more like a Warlock and less like, I don't really know what I was expecting in this scenario. I like all the NPCs that they put in there. I like the look of it there's portals. The portals are really, really nice because they're just kind of random. You get to see the abyssal. You get to see most of the Warlock and nature demons are kind of giant walking around your Order Hall. But I was really disappointed with the way that it looked. And I don't know if any of you that are watching now, or if you're catching this on YouTube or iTunes and you have Alpha and you've seen it, or if you've done the walkthrough, I want to know if I'm the only Warlock here that kind of feels a little bit disappointed in kind of the way that it looks. So that is my personal opinion. you do see the NPCs. They have the Warlock Trainer from Undercity, the Warlock Trainer from Stormwinds in there. You see a lot of Dreadrift NPCs, a lot of your Black Harvest guys walking around. Some of them are like summoning a bunch of little portals and stuff, which I'm assuming are going to be portals you're going to be able to use later, because the Order Hall I don't think is completed. They're still adding to it. But I liked that it was the twisting nether. I like the direction that they took it in. But I was extremely disappointed, to say the least, in that Order Hall specifically. Still nice, still awesome, but disappointed. Now, I know, Lycan, you were going to talk a little bit about the Warlock lore a little bit in detail, kind of minus Gul'dan, right? Because we talked a lot about Gul'dan.
Right, we've talked about Gul'dan. We've talked about how he's such an integral character to the lore. But as I wrote it, actually this morning I completely got rid of the entire lore plan that I was doing and decided to go actually on the class itself. So, I said I could have gone with a single character, but instead I chose to pick why, in a world where we fight demons and such, would a class of spellcasters decide to use the same forces that are attacking us constantly. Now, the first incarnation of Warlocks that we saw was when Sargeras, well, we really didn't see it, but Sargeras corrupted the Eredar. Now, the Eredari were the original home of the Draenei. They were the inhabitants of a planet called Argus, where there's 3 leaders on a planet that had the best, most powerful connection to the arcane, which was Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, and Velen. All 3 were so close they were like brothers. Sargeras convinced Kil'jaeden and Archimonde to give up their power wielding in the arcane, and actually in place of that, gave them fell magic and dominion over the demons. However, Velen had that prophetic vision, saw their civilization and enslavement, and took his followers in the Exodar, which is the Draenei starting zone, but it's also a huge ship. So, it's a big spaceship. And they fled Argus and eventually landed on a small little planet called Draenor. And it was found, this is where they set up home for the second time, and they were eventually found by the other 2 brothers of Archimonde and Kil'jaeden. Now, Kil'jaeden corrupted the orcs on Draenor and committed genocide on the Draenei. This caused all the elements to abandon the orcs and caused them to lose that connection with that shamanistic society they had. Kil'jaeden taught Gul'dan the ways of the Warlock. Gul'dan created the Shadow Council, which was to ensure that the stability of the Horde and their quest to destroy the Draenei. And now they're hell-bent on just destroying them. And originally, the Draenei and the Orcs shared in trade. The Orcs taught them shamanism. The Draenei helped them out with their technology. So there was a back and forth that was going on here. With that, though, when given the chance, the Shadow Council actually fed on the blood of Manaroth and gave it to the Horde to enslave them just a little bit further and get them completely under control of the Burning Legion. This allowed the Horde to fall in line with all the plans that Sargeras had. They continued to fight the Draenei from the Black Temple up until Kil'jaeden just vanished for no reason and left the Horde to fall into pieces. Until Medivh contacted the Shadow Council and offered them to plunder Azeroth instead. Now we're coming back into Azeroth. There were already warlocks on Azeroth at that time. But when they saw the powers the orcs had, they started following their ways. They wanted to gain that power that they had. When they would capture an orc warlock, they would torture them to reveal their secrets. This goes down in the deep parts of what a warlock really is. Now, why would the Denzians of Azeroth become warlocks? One word: power. The warlocks, both Horde and Alliance, are a necessary evil. No pun intended. And the leaders of both factions actually put up with them for that one reason. Although they align themselves with their respective factions, the warlocks serve only one master only, and that's themselves. This caused them to be despised by almost everyone on Azeroth, including other warlocks. They don't even trust their own kind. Other warlocks would have no problem torturing another warlock to learn his or her secrets before banishing their souls forever. I think this is why Bell doesn't like Affliction Locks, because they just don't get along. Some could even argue that Death Knights are not as hated as the warlocks. But that's up for a good argument that we're not going to get into here. But all that lies in the way of a warlock and their quest for power would easily be destroyed if necessary. We also have the original Azerothian warlocks as well. Now, they were the Highborn Elves, and they were taught by other forces invading during the War of the Ancients, which was over, 10,000 years ago. These elves are now the Satyr. That's that half-goat, half-demon-looking beasts. And they fall in the footsteps
Satyr.
of Xavier's. Satyr, yeah. Satyr. However you say it. Now, Xavius will actually be in Legion when we see him. He'll be the last boss in the Darkheart Thicket. So we'll actually get to actually experience what his powers were. And some claim that he was a very, if not one of the most powerful warlocks that was out there. Even though these abominations were created and should have acted as a deterrent to people of Azeroth becoming warlocks, it did not. It actually had the exact opposite effect. The personal quest of a warlock is this. There will always be those that seek power, and there will always be demons waiting to offer them to them for a price. Which leads me to make this statement. Those who follow the ways of the fell magic almost always lose a part of themselves in that venture. Whether it's an enslavement, whether it's some type of payment they have to make to that demon. Sacrifice, yeah. Those who don't, though, watch out. They're probably the most powerful ones out there. Which leads us to the Greenfire questline for the Warlocks in Cataclysm. Now, there were 6 Warlocks that were set out for the disasters of Cataclysm to gain even more power. And the only reason they joined together was to assure that the complete power was found. They wanted to get the power left behind from Illidan, Cho'Gall, Ragnaros, and even Deathwing. So they split into 3 pairs that set out looking for it. If any of them had killed their partner during this venture to take that power for their own, the other 4 would kill them on the spot when they all met back up again. There could be no backstabbing to steal the power for just themselves. These members were, Canrathad, he was a human. There was Ritson, Flamescow, the orc. Shinfel was a blood elf. Zinnin was a worgen. There's Zelfax, he was the gnome. And Jubeka, a Shadowbreaker, the undead. They were obviously successful since the Green Fire Quest is part of the gameplay, and you actually learn a lot about this. And they were called the Council of the Black Harvest. The only one, though, that is not on the council right now is Caranthad Evanlock. He was the leader and the founder. However, he has gone mad and has been imprisoned, and that kind of brings us up into what we're going to deal with in Legion. Many of the Warlocks will be happy to know that we're not done with that Council of the Black Harvest. We will come across them with the artifact weapons, and I thought about giving those spoilers out, but because I love my soul and don't want it banished, I'm just going to go ahead and let it wait and see what's going to happen. It'll be very interesting. I've read the spoilers. I've seen the gameplay of the beginning of the artifact, and lots of surprises coming up with Legion. It'll be awesome.
Refused to do any of that, so I didn't want to spoil it in particular.
Yeah, I didn't want a visit from you, and you start casting chaos bolts to my face at my front door, so I decided not to go into the spoilers for that.
I wanted to address something real quick in regard to Remedy's comment about, Warlocks are the Burning Legion and all that. So I totally get it, and I understand the reason the Warlock Hall looks the way it does. But I think in my mind, I've been thinking about this while you were talking about the lore, because it was like reminding me, right? So I think what I was looking for is when you actually had to go to your lock trainer to learn your spells, right? You were underground and what could be considered a coven of sorts, right? Like an old style witch's coven, and you had all your, your trainers. It was very, very reminiscent of what I think, a place where warlocks would gather would be. Wasn't necessarily overly green in nature, but it was really dark. And I felt like that was what I was going to get, and that's not what we got. We did get the Burning Legion style, which I totally get what people are saying about that. But I was hoping that I would, bubbling cauldrons, like things that we saw pre all the changes that happened to the Warlocks, where they slowly started changing them from their old style of gameplay to what they are now, back when you were, it wasn't just all about, I know everybody's going to be like, oh, Burning Legion, all that. But I'm talking about before, when it was the fantasy of the Warlock outside of the Burning Legion, like bringing it a step outside of that. And that's kind of what I thought I was going to get with the class hall, and I'm a little disappointed. And
looking at it, and you're 100% right about it being BC, because if you look at the class hall and the way they had formed it, and you take it away from the purple and green that's in there, and you painted it red, it looks like Hellfire Peninsula.
And the only purple that's there is just the accentuations of the demons as such.
Right.
It's all fell, which is, don't get me wrong, I'm a fell warlock, okay? I have my green fire. But it's not the warlock hall that I would have chosen. I would have went less BC, more of a mix. I would have liked to have seen, the slaughtered lamb when you had to go in the bottom. I would have liked to have seen that dungeony, right? Scary.
And if you go to Orgrimmar, they have that right in the center, in the Cleft of Shadows is where theirs. Or if you go to the Undercity, they're not sitting in one of those 4 sectors. They're back in that corner, way back where they're doing experiments and stuff. I was very disappointed with it. It looked,
Yeah, Cash is right.
it was
It's a demon
lackluster.
hall. It's a demon hall, which is great. That wasn't what I was envisioning when you said a Warlock Order Hall. That's not what my vision was. So it could just be because the Warlock's personal to me and I'm being super critical. But I feel a little bit, I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit let down. I thought the Monk Hall was way better. I'm going to be really honest. The Monk Hall is fucking legit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, they have many class halls that they've got. Like, not every person's going to win
true.
with every single one of them. So, like, I think you're right. Like, it's probably just a little bit more of a low blow because you're a Warlock. Like, I haven't looked at the Chamois Hall yet, and I am so loathingly fearful.
I'm going to be doing that next week, so...
So I might not be here next week, folks. Might just go AFK for a year or two.
I'll make sure I warn you if it's bad.
Until I emotionally recover from the damage that's about to be done, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like it.
And Bloke, looking at, we as Death Knights aren't really even getting anything. We're getting the same order hall that we've had since...
Hello, you don't need one. You've already had
But wait a
one.
minute. But if you look at the work they've put into the Warrior Hall, wait till you see the Paladin Warrior Hall.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous, and it is upsetting when you have something that close to your heart, like your own class that you've been playing for years, and it's like I'll have to use it again. You go in expecting this big expectations, but you get this lackluster.
And that could have been my fault too.
beautiful-
I probably hyped it up in my mind prior to entering, like, this is going to be fucking amazing, right? Because Warlocks are awesome. But I do intend on giving just a little bit of feedback. I don't want them to change it on just one person's feels account. But it's whatever. It's Warlock. I'll love it.
You got a valid
It's
point.
better than a fucking garrison.
No, I love my garrison. I don't know why you guys bitch about it. I love my garrison. Literally, like.
As far as interaction and everything goes, like, I love the look
I don't
of the
interact with
garrison and
people
all that.
anyway. I'm probably the one person in game that doesn't give a fuck about interacting with people.
I think garrisons are probably a little bit lackluster.
You stole my line.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, and we could talk for days about the problems with garrisons. We really could. But I mean, I didn't do a whole lot of socializing in Stormwind in general because a lot of the community sucks ass. And that's just, to be honest about that. The trade chat's horrible. General chat in Stormwind's horrible. People are horrible. But I do like seeing people. I didn't get to see very many people in the Warlock Hall this time like I did the Monk because I think the server had just gotten brought back up when I finally... Somebody's typing. Stop. Thanks. Yay for live shows. So excited. Yay.
Charlie.
Put glowstone behind it. Why do I even? We do have... I don't even know if I'm going to address Bloke's bullshit segment because I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Thundercats...
I can't even remember what I wrote, to be honest.
Thundercats was an amazing show coming in second Transformers. Take it away, Bloke.
No, I got nothing. Genuinely. When did I... Oh, wow. Can we not until maybe next
because
week?
of Bloke's medication, we're just going to avoid this whole scene altogether. He is medicated, but...
I do want to point out that Thundercats really was an amazing show, but Transformers was way better. I wish they'd do a Warcraft one.
Thundercats.
That's all
The
I have to say
Adventures
about
of
that.
Jaina After Dark.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on her because we all know how. I
You
feel.
love her. She's your bestie.
I can't wait to do the Mage Order Hall because I am doing Jane After Dark.
Let's
Ooh.
do... Creepy. Hots, you got some Mythic Council
Yeah.
tips and tricks, right?
Fourth boss of Hellfire Citadel. It's pretty... Nothing spectacular. Definitely not the hardest fight in the world. You go in with the same mindset of heroic. It's the same kill order, but everything's gonna hit a lot harder. And it's not really a new mechanic, but it's a mechanic that you definitely have to pay attention to now. And you can't just kind of throw in the back burner because you're gonna kill it too fast, or it's not gonna even do enough damage for you to even pay attention to it. But whenever you start, you're gonna want to split up your group, or split 4 people off from your raid and put them off in one corner or in one pile, and put everyone else closer to the bosses. And then every 3 to 4 stacks, you're gonna swap those people out. That way you don't have to, or that way their stacks can wear off, and you just kind of set up a sequential order, and then it'll rotate through until you get the boss at 30%. At 30%, you hero and give him everything you got, really. Like, you have to make sure he dies before you get 3 stacks for progression stop. 4 if you're really comfortable with it, but at that point you're gonna get one shot by mechanics later on in the ability because it takes your percentage health away. And I think with 3 stacks, I'm at 528k health, not with no stacks, and I think 2 or 3 stacks I'm sitting at like 200k health. So you have one sneeze from anything wrong and you're dead. The second boss that you're gonna kill, dude with the big sword, he sends out his he's gonna send out his ads and whatnot. When those ads do the,
Isn't it a Blade Master?
it's Blade Master or something, but he throws his
You mean I know something you don't? Interesting.
but he throws his sword out, or he throws his little visions out, or his clones, if you will, and whenever they do the sword throw, if you have 3 stacks, that's a guaranteed one shot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're dead. So then you're gonna want to put your range on killing as many of those as possible. Your melee can swap and go to Dia, or the Harry Potter chick, as we like to call her. And then during Harry Potter phase, where the ghost comes out and everything goes purple and everything's going across the room, there's certain points in the room where you want to stack. If you look at the door that's going to be on the right-hand side of the room, and then there's a wall, and there's kind of like a little nook there. Whenever you're walking up and they're all 3 standing up there, that corner right there is the safest spot for you to stand, because there's no ghosts that spawn there or will go through there, and there's no unnecessary damage that's going to be taken, because again, if you have too many stacks, it's a one shot. There's no, you're dead. So that's pretty much the first boss lines up the rest of the fight for you. If you get more than 2 stacks, you're gonna have a really rough time. You're gonna have to make sure that you're on point with every mechanic. You don't want to take any kind of extra damage, because you're gonna put your healers in a world of hurt. Other than that, follow it through just like normal or heroic. Reaps will become very bountiful. Everyone will probably have the debuff at the very end of it. It's definitely not a very lackluster fight. We don't really, there's nothing major to it, so just good luck, have fun, and hopefully you'll kill it fairly quickly.
There's that word again. I'm going to petition America to please remove that from the English language, just like irregardless. So if we could make that not a thing, that would be great.
What was your other favorite one from when we had Red Shirt guy, Retcon?
Because literally in that hour show, we must have said retcon like 100 times, and if I heard, it's like literally say retcon one more time, I'm gonna set you on fire. I like the council fight. It was actually one of my favorites of this specific set of raid. I was really happy that you were talking about that, because I just like I like the differences. I like yelling at people for putting Reap in the center, because that's my favorite when people do that. That's so awesome when I watch you stand there with the Reap and then you tell me it's not you, and I'm like, that's interesting. But it's one of my favorite fights, just mechanic wise, just because there's a lot going on, but there's not really a lot going on, right? It's not nothing you can handle.
Yeah, everything comes in staggered. It's not
never
all at
figured
once.
out above, right? They always say, well, watch out above your head, don't let them go over you. But literally, no matter where you're standing, a thing goes over you. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna admit I just stood there because I didn't know what to do.
Like I said, there's that corner that you can go into, and there's another one that you're gonna use for phase 3, but hopefully, like, most of the time you'll have her dead before too many of those. Yeah, and that's kind of the way I felt like it. That's why I never let them touch me. But another thing you could do is kind of like it's called a death point. You have everyone stack for Reap, and I've always hated this idea. The first one that goes out, since you don't have any stacks on you or anything like that, you just have everyone stack, and then as soon as it drops, disperse, like gone, bye. the fuck out of there because everyone's Reap is going to be standing in there, and all of them are going to take it one time on everyone that was standing there. So I didn't like the idea of it. People talked about it. We tried it once or twice. I was like, nope.
Yeah, I don't like that idea either. I like to spread around. I'm not really.
It cleans up the room a lot, and I like the idea behind it. But there's a really big room. And
yeah, but I think you're relying on a lot of people to do things kind of in sync.
Yeah.
So I think you're, which if you have the ability, that's great. I don't have that ability, so I like to be tapped out during raid. And like
one lag. Yep. There we go.
You were muted.
One lag's wait and you're screwed if you do that.
Yeah,
method,
it feels like it's a bad.
Yeah, really.
Well, that was awesome. Well, now we come to the point where we're all going to be put to shame because it's gym segment time, and we already know we're going to be put to shame right now. So we're
much pressure every week, though. Now
let the master. Jim has an awesome pet battle segment situation.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I want to welcome and thank you all for joining us tonight, of course. Before I get into our extremely serious topic, I kind of want to talk briefly about the epic stones that we talked about last week. Of course, very quickly, Blizzard and PwnecastDailyQuest.com let us know very quickly that it's not going to be a thing. They did toy with, testing it, and they just chose, for a number of reasons, that it's not going to happen. So if you kind of want to see the official response from Blizzard, it's there on WarcraftPets.com. It kind of breaks down their thoughts and some of the players' concerns on, why it was or was not going to work. I didn't really speak about which way I was leaning last week, just because I wanted to talk about the topic and not sway anybody either way. I'm glad it's not going to be a thing. I was against it. I would have been okay if they made it a thing. I wasn't going to cry or anything. But I didn't want it to be a thing because I didn't want the Celestial Tournament to be easier with us having stronger pets. I really like some of the pet trainers that are difficult, and sometimes learning new strategies or different ways to defeat the trainers or power level your pets is part of the fun. And of course, if we just have naturally stronger pets, it's going to be just easier to go through that original journey of being the best that you can be. For this week's discussion, though, actually, I did want to know, what did you guys think? I know we spoke about it last week. Just put your thoughts in the comments, of course. This week's discussion is the Terraclaw Hatchling. It's an individual pet. Do you guys know about this pet? Have you ever heard of it? It's very easy to get. Overall, in my opinion, it's the best pet in the game. That's right, I said it. Now, you don't have to put it in your number one slot. You can put it in your top 5 or go get it and try it out. Why do I say that? It's very effective for PvP pet battles, so that's one reason. It'll help you defeat 4 of those pet trainers in the Celestial Tournament. So if you're having trouble with the Celestial Tournament or you're planning to go in there, go get the Terraclaw Hatchling. It can help you with some of your Pet Menagerie pet battle dailies, and it can also help you power level some pets, right? Where do you get this pet? It's very easy, actually. You go to Talador. There's 4 specific areas in Talador that you can go get the Terraclaw Hatchling. They have Terraclaw nests, and they're located under these huge giant trees, and it's very simple. You walk up to the egg, you click it, you have it. Let's say you're lazy. You can go to the auction house and buy it for under 100 gold. It's very simple. So you'll add it, and the reason why I bring it up, obviously because it's a great pet, but only 45 to 50% of the community actually have the pet in their collection. So that tells me people just don't really know about it, and they don't know how effective it is. I think it's kind of like with Pokemon, people are used to the original 150 Pokemon, and like myself, I have no clue of some of the newer Pokemon, right? So go get yourself Terraclaw Hatchling. I highly recommend it. I also recommend you go to WarcraftPets.com and rate the pet. They have a rating system on appearance and how it does in battle. So rate it as honestly as you want, because it needs to be in the top 20. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't know about it. It's not in the list of the top 20 best rated battle pets for battle on this website. So, I know what you're thinking. You're just one person. What does it matter? But your vote does matter, people. So go to the website and rate the pet.
Fuck, I'm voting for you. I don't know what you're running for, but you have my vote. I'm in. I will support your campaign. Fucking hashtag Jim for president. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm buying all of it. So
Make
Nice.
America pet battle again.
Yeah. Actually, the funny thing about this is, I know some people pet battle, but it seems more people are frequently just talking about pet battles. I don't know if I'm making it a thing, but Bloke was yeah, I'm going through the pet trainers and blah, 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 and just some other people. So I don't know if that's just naturally happening because he was talking last week, you've got to find and entertain yourself with other things to do. But I'm getting a lot of pet battle questions these days on just, I don't know, all kinds of stuff.
Pretty legit, actually.
Mm.
You always make us look bad. I'm pretty...
No, I don't. When we shine, when I shine, we shine together, right?
Let's face it, really wasn't hard to beat this segment this week.
I love it. I'm
Thundercat.
voting.
I real life pet battle. I'll take the Pikachu
We need
back there
everybody
and
to
throw at
take to
people.
Twitter right now and hashtag Jimabanks 2016. Let's make that a thing because he deserves something. A Medal of Honor, a commendation. A fucking...
Yeah, I redeemed myself from Jimma Banks Lie to Jimma Banks
I know,
2016.
that was really, really good. Bloke is not only entertained, he's probably in a different dimension right now, which, I mean, worse
I
for
swear
wear,
to God.
couldn't...
Watching you guys on my Skype screen is just amazing.
I'm highly medicated also with this sickness. But Bloke, how medicated are you on a scale from HOTS to
Lindsay
and medicated?
Lohan's mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or Bloke medicated up from the spider bite because one episode he was. Whew.
Oh no, man, the spider bite's got nothing on this week.
Oh really? Well,
Yeah,
I guess
I'm
you
up
just
there with,
maintain
like-
better.
Making Ozzy Osbourne look like a choir girl.
So,
Super quick, I'm going to say hi to a long-time WoW player who's decided that he's possibly coming back to the game after many, many years of being away. Dilly Willy, how you doing?
Salute to
Like
Dilly.
Dilly
I'd
Willy,
never
why
get
don't you
tired of
play
that.
it
He
every
was
day?
like one of the original server rank DKs for the Oceanic realms, and he's a top bloke.
So for Bell's Bites, I'm going to be focusing next week on PvP. That's going to be my situation for next week. So I'm going to talk about Legion PvP. I'm going to break it down really, really good. So you guys definitely don't want to miss next week's episode. It'll give you guys also, those that watch live, an opportunity to ask questions. I'm going to do research all week this week and really, really going to do my due diligence to make sure I know all the things I possibly can about what PvP is looking like from my perspective in Legion. But I want to make sure that real quick for Bell's Bites, before we get into our week in WoW, that I gave a couple of shout outs. Now, I did get an email from somebody. This email was addressed to the show, and I cannot find it anywhere. I'm not ignoring you. I didn't forget. My email gets overloaded. I placed it somewhere so I wouldn't lose it, and I don't know where I put it. So I plan on responding. I promise you I'll respond to you on next week's show. If you know who you are and you want to just resend me the email, feel free. But it is there. I don't know what happened. I was in the bathroom when I got the email, so it didn't
Hashtag not effective toilet time.
I've literally ripped through my email trying to find it. So if you're listening and or watching, I do apologize that happened. But so in checking all of the Pwnecast things, you guys know I do like my monthly audit, which is code for Bell turns into a psychotic bitch and looks at all the things Pwnecast is doing. And I'm auditing the show and make sure it's the best quality. I'm auditing the page, auditing the group, auditing the PDQ. I'm literally, it could go along with Shark Week. I don't really know, but that's when I do all of the things and I'm at my craziest and everybody knows to either just say nice things to me and or hand over the tacos to avoid it.
I made her a sandwich.
He did make me a sandwich.
Oh, I heard all about it.
It was glorious. So I did notice that we did have some new reviews, which was really, really nice on iTunes. I turned around and all of a sudden we had 15 reviews on iTunes. And I wanted to, I swear one of this is just to troll me. I'm pretty sure that it might even be.
No.
I'm not 100% sure. So the Hammer House Project podcast, great podcast for WoW fans. They gave us that review with a 5-star review on February 29th. I wanted to make sure that I thanked you. We thanked you for that. Also, Breaking Bones at Fizzcrank. Prepare for Ponage, a hilarious take on Warcraft that is not just raid focused. So grab a beer or Coke, not the kind you snort. Sit back and enjoy. Don't know who you are, but I appreciate that.
What's wrong with the one you snores?
Yeah, don't limit our viewers, maybe.
Now, this one made me super excited. So, Bell from CTR, the podcast CTR, he goes by, his name on here is a big black Canadian, and it's hilarious because, I mean, it is what it is. 10 out of 10 blokes was the title of it, and he gave us 5 stars. This podcast is down and dirty, an honest, gritty version of what every WoW podcast can and should be. It's informative, entertaining, laugh out loud funny. Belle's one of my favorite hosts in all of WoW podcasts. If you're not listening, you're missing out. I am a huge fan of him specifically, and it's not just because we share.
I wonder why.
I follow him on Twitter. Like, I'm a huge fan. So for him to have commented on our show, guys, I'm pretty excited that was a thing. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about that. And then Drail, we all know who Drail is. It's Mushu Pork. He gave us a really, really long, and I'm going to read it because it deserves to be read. He wrote this on February 6th. I've been listening to the Pwnecast crew for a while, well over a year now. I remember looking for something to listen to on my iPod, and I happened to stumble into Warcraft podcasts. I clicked a random one, and so my journey began. I really like how the shows went. The people were real and spoke my language and showed me a side of Warcraft I hadn't seen before. I decided to get back into my account and see if I could meet these people in person, and for the first time in my MMO history, I was in a guild. And not just in a guild that felt like real friends. I've had some great times, learned some awesome things, and every week I look forward to the next episode. To anyone who's been in the game, is curious about the game, or just wants a good listen, I recommend Pwnecast, Alliance for Life, and Horde to the Death. See you in Azeroth.
Oh.
I mean,
I'm choked up.
I know.
Thanks, Drill.
I know.
I said hit me in the feels, but I can't feel, so.
Also, Thandrin, 5 stars, real and funny, focusing mostly on World of Warcraft, but also other Blizzard games. This is a podcast done by a group of unique people who are clearly friends. Well, you don't know us. We don't like each other. No holds are barred, and the talk is real. Not cliche, but real is real. These are the kinds of people who I could be friends with. I sometimes mutter something in response to something said on the show, only to have one of them say it too, and I literally laugh out loud. For even more fun, they have videos on YouTube of each week's podcast. Worth every second. Good people, good fun.
Is unique a code word for weird?
Well,
Or lackluster.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay. I mean, we do have the
Or
undead
lackluster.
hots.
Not lackluster.
but I wanted
Could
to
be
make
lackluster.
sure I don't really watch the reviews that much because we don't get them very often. That was awesome. We got like a whole bunch. So for our iTunes listeners, thank you guys for taking the time to give us a review on iTunes. We get to see the YouTube side of it, but yeah, golf clap. We appreciate that love. And to the emailer, I am so sorry that I can't find your email, but it was a great email from what I remember, and I feel really terrible. Also, we do have a question that was fielded to the inbox. We're going to address that right after the Week in WoW. I'm actually going to go ahead and jump right in. Lycan, what did you do this week in WoW?
Still going for the life binders. But no luck, no mounts, no pets. Really, I mean, it's been going in and just grinding it out. Been doing the Cataclysm reps. I think I'm at like 45 reps out of the 60 needed for the Beloved. That's really becoming a pain in the ass, going back and doing old school reps like Molten Core and going back and doing Black Temple every week. And I'm making a lot of gold, which is good because I had got a gift card for 2 month subscription time. I'm running out, so I need to start doing farming again for gold. But let me tell you, if you really need to go back and make some money, that is probably the way to do it. I was doing that on a stream. I started streaming again Tuesdays, Thursday nights, 9:30, 12:30, selfless plug. But, went through, and as I'm going through doing these old raids again, you're making easy 6-7K per week. I mean, that and just a little bit of your garrison work could pay for your monthly subscription. So that's what I've pretty much been doing, just grinding out them reps. I really want that Beloved title, and I don't feel like going on to another tune and leveling up all the Draenor reps just to get it. So that's my thing. Come see me on Tuesday.
Ashy, she's one of our followers. I love her to pieces. She had said, could you please change the name of the stream before you go live, because it says Belle is chaos bolting, and she goes in and she sees Nate, or excuse me, I used your slave name. She sees Lycan doing lore, and she gets very upset because she does not fancy lore. She loves Lycan, but she doesn't fancy the lore. And she said, can you please fix it? Because it's a lie.
I think that's what I'm going to do, is start using like Bell Chaos Bolting or Hots doing Mythic runs, just to start pulling in random people, and they're going to go, what the hell is this?
I feel that people would tune in to see that.
I would.
Or start changing, now playing and change it to like League of Legends, and people come on and see like World of Warcraft going, what the fuck's this?
So, Bloke, did you have a week in WoW? I feel bad
I did.
asking you.
Nope, I had a good week in WoW. I did lots of things and spent a little bit of time on. I did today.
I heard you got some type of esteemed situation that happened to you this week in WoW. Did I hear that right? Are you some type of esteemed title, as it were, of importance?
I don't know, man. You're really freaking me out right now. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Didn't you
It's
become
like,
an
are you
officer
like
in a
James?
certain guild?
Oh, yeah. Oh, how you doing?
It's just awkward, extremely awkward.
Oh, no, because I was thinking, what, did I get a rep or, like, did Blizzard employ me or something? No, I was getting to that. I'm like, I'll jump straight to that. I became an officer in the Riders at Rohan Guild, so I could take care of all the things in the off hours when the non-American-based guild members are playing. They can have someone responsible that they can look up to come and chat to and help with their problem.
I think we need to redefine responsible here.
Yeah, well, look, hey, I haven't actually started until probably I stopped taking the medication. But no, that was definitely a highlight. I've been looking forward to that and getting back to helping people play the games and do the things that they want to do.
Officer Bloke.
That's it. Respect my authority.
I do. Can you change my player note to say something?
No.
Yes, I'll
No.
say the Canadian guy. No, so like I'm looking forward to in the future to organising some achievement runs and helping people do whatever they seem to be stuck with, because that's what I do. Earlier in the week or late last week, depending on which way you want to look at it, I did some raiding and some Apexi crystals weekly stuff with Dud, but the raiding with the Knights of Dark Age, if anyone's looking for an Oceanic-based guild, that's the place to stop past. We've been having so much fun with the raids and progressing and getting everybody geared up, and it's been a really good week. Like, obviously, becoming the officer of the After Dark Hours was the highlight that I may have temporarily forgotten about.
I love you so much.
So I'm
You're
sorry.
High as fuck, and you're sitting here in pain.
I'm still crying like a champ.
Technical difficulties that we won't tell anybody about that's going on right now. But I
feel compelled to. I literally have no idea where I'm looking right now because my monitor has decided to turn itself off.
His monitor's broken, so I'm assuming he's looking at the stream to try to gather some semblance of what our faces are doing. But
I'm not even doing that. I'm sitting here staring blankly at a black screen, right, roughly around where the camera is, in hope that I don't look completely stupid.
No, you don't. You look.
You're good.
You look fabulous.
Fabulous.
The show must go on.
Hots, outside of raiding, did you do anything fun this week?
Yes. It starts with raiding. I got a mythic BOE, right? It's like, yes, money in the bank, right? So, guild member whispers me, hey, do you need that? It's like, no. I'm planning on selling it. They're like, how much do you want to buy or sell it for? It's like, I don't know. I was thinking like, 75K, but guildy, I'll do a discount for 55K. And he was like, done. Well, Dad messages me later and he was like, hey, do you still have that belt? And I was like, no, I already sold it. He was like, oh, that's a shame, so-and-so need it. And so we go back to the guy I sold it to. He was like, hey, do you still have this belt? And he was like, yeah, why? Oh, I bought it for transmog. He spent 55K on a mythic BOE for a transmog. I was like,
wow.
I think that's like 3/4 of the amount of money that I have in my whole character.
I spent 20K on my hammer. Well, 10K on the hammer.
But it's a alright, the Legion stuff from HFC, there is a PvP equivalent to it.
Just a different color?
Yeah, it's just a different color. So
I don't judge you for wearing ears and a tail, buddy. You don't get to
Right.
judge what I
I
spend my
didn't
in-game
spend
gold on.
$5,500 on that.
You would, though. That's the point. The point
no,
is you
hell
would.
no. Hell no. I wouldn't even. I don't do the full fursuit shit. No, that's weird.
I've seen your closet.
There's towels hanging up.
I like how he looked to be like, oh fuck, what has she seen in my closet?
It's just
What
Jim.
are you seeing in your closet? But no. So, and then our guild found out about the goblin hot potatoes.
Hot potato, hot potato.
They are the Steam Weedle reservation, the ones out in Nudogrand. Whenever you're honored, you can go buy them. And what they do is you throw them back and forth. And eventually it's going to blow up whenever you're trying to throw it, or whenever the person catches it. And it shoots you sky high in the air, stunned, and then you fall to your death. And you can throw it to anyone. You don't have to be in a party
Really?
with them. Yes, you can anyone, anywhere. And actually, my girlfriend, Angie, was the victim of this. They
Holy
found
name
out
dropping.
they can.
Yeah, it's
they
Richard.
can-
It's Richard.
Richard fell victim to this, and they were throwing him to random people, and they ended up killing her like twice in Storm Shield because they were just throwing her. And I was just like,
Things to do.
yeah. So if you didn't know about Goblin Hot Pockets,
Hot
there
potatoes?
you go. Yeah,
Hot potato or hot pockets?
Hot potato.
hot potato.
You said pockets.
A hot pocket. You know what hot potato? You want hot pocket.
Oh my god, what just fucking happened? I'm gonna derail this because I gotta get it back on track because I don't know where we just went. Well, at least you're doing something besides raiding. I'm glad to see that. And your Pikachu staring at me. So if you could kindly cover up his eyes, that'd be great.
It's laying in a corner disturbed,
It's
going,
just
please get me
staring.
out of here.
Fuck. Jim, what'd you do this week in WoW?
Feeling a little under the weather. Some would say my week in WoW was a little lackluster, but last night was a lot of fun. I was invited to join the RBG team, and that was a lot of fun. I've said this before. I really enjoy being in the guild. A lot of times for most of my last so many years playing WoW, it's been a lot of solo play, and it's exhausting sometimes finding people to do groups with that you have fun with. So, shout out to your guild or our guild, and I really do have a lot of fun grouping up with everyone. I will be a part of the next Hungry Games, which is kind of exciting. So I kind of got my Windwalker spec together because I was brewmaster for my off spec. So I'm kind of going back to the Windwalker to see. I'm very new to the monk, so I'm going to see how that goes. Of course, Love is the Air was ending last week or this week, and no luck on the Love Rocket. And of course, I always have a successful week with my Garrison missions, making my gold, and that's about it. Just a little PvP and Garrison stuff. And
It's a good week, though.
yeah,
I
it's
gotta
not
tell
too
you,
bad.
it's a good week.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, what did I do this week? I did get all my Love is in the Air stuff done. I got that completed.
Did you get the mount?
No,
Negative.
I have Children's Week and the Firewalker, whatever. You got to pee on the fire or some shit. You
Oh,
gotta
I
do
thought
instead of
this was
peeing.
the last one you needed.
No, but it's one down, so now I have two left. So by July, I should have my mount, assuming the Children's Week, which I've said this before, it kind of creeps me out that they want me to eat in front of orphans, and I got to take this orphan into battle. It's really terrible parenting, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because Blizzard's making me. This week, I did my first ever time walking. I think it was this week. I did my first ever time walking because I had it. Maybe it was last week. I don't know. I did time walking. That was really fun. I did not enjoy getting misdirected to by the two hunters that were in our group. Remedy, Miguel. You guys are dicks, so there's that. But I did enjoy doing it. I never stepped in there before, just because whenever the guild is doing runs, I'm usually busy doing something. So I'm trying to allocate my Pwnecast stuff to where I actually can enjoy gaming again. So that's kind of been my focus, is getting all of my projects done. If you could stop, that would be great. Because it is in my ear, and that's rude. Yeah, I've been doing kind of that stuff this week. I have no achievements, I think, except for getting I got the yak, which is pretty legit. I got the yak yesterday.
Yak.
I want to
Yakety-yak,
transmog
don't come
accordingly. And then working on stuff for the Hungry Games, which this is gonna be a big spectacle in production this week. So with that said, we've got the meat and potatoes, because Stone really likes it when I say meat and potatoes. We've got that pretty much knocked
So do
out, so
I.
I'm going to open up the floor for some questions. I am going to answer one question while you guys get your questions in. If you want to go ahead and respond in chat questions, Chaos, our awesome moderator, will be pulling those questions to ask us. While you guys are getting any questions that you want to ask in, I'm going to address Dud. He is really, really good about sending us inboxes. He's like Team Pwnecast inbox all the time. So he's got something he wants us all to discuss. So they want healers to level as healing specs for Legion, right? So not DPS. They want them to level in their specs. So so basically healers don't have to change specs all the time. Like that's going to be their goal. They want you to be able to not level as DPS just because you need to be able to kill shit. So the question was posed, why are they removing all healing spec interrupts? Good question. What are your thoughts?
I leveled as hills for a very brief period of time back in BC on the chamois, and I've never ever done it again because like it can be done, but it's so ridiculously painful.
Yeah, no.
Look, Blizzard have certainly made some interesting decisions in the past in terms of the game direction, and for me personally, this is one of their not as brilliant ones.
And they're
It's
changing that.
just-
They're making it where you can level as heals. His specific question is, why would they remove healers' ability to interrupt if they're wanting them to be able to level as heals?
Well, there's two ways to look at it. One, you're a healer. You don't necessarily have to worry about, the only damage you're really gonna have to worry about is, a one shot, really, because you can heal yourself. Like druids, you can throw a heal up, like a hot on yourself, and that'll keep you alive through most things. But there are other ways to interrupt. Most classes have a stun or some kind of something that they can cast. I think priests are about the only ones that don't. But priests also disciplined priests heal themselves while they're DPSing, and holy priests have their penance, or the chakrams, to do more damage, and if I'm not mistaken, it does. It adds like extra damage or something like that in the red one. I don't remember what it's called. I haven't played Holy Priest in a very long time, but I mean, there's a lot of ways around that, and they're looking at more end game stuff for removing it for like level 110 while we're doing raids and whatnot, because they don't want healers doing DPS duties, and interrupting is a DPS duty.
Agreed. We talked about that in general.
Yeah. So then, for leveling,
They can't remove it just for raiding and not leveling. They would have to do it across the board, essentially.
Yeah.
So my question is, how are they going to make it where a healer can go in and level as heals without any help?
Right.
What's happening that's a thing?
Maybe some things fight with you and you heal them as they...
Well, and I know that's what they're doing with priests, right? You have to do damage in order for certain heals to proc. I haven't looked a lot at the priest changes,
Well, that's
but I know
smite healing.
Oh, well, see, I don't know.
Which has been around forever and a day, but if you go with but what if you went like holy? Holy is not a damaging spec, and that's the dichotomy of what they're doing. Is that on one hand they want to get you away from doing the DPS duties, but how's that going to affect solo gameplay? You're going to run into that problem where you're going to have there's certain things that if you don't interrupt them on these mobs, they're just going to wreck you. You can heal all you want through, but how much are you going to be able to take down these mobs during questing it'll be interesting how they're going to fix it.
Proving Grounds was imperative. You couldn't do anything as a healer in queues if you didn't have an interrupt, right? Because that was crucial. It was interrupting.
It definitely helped for sure with the Proving Grounds side of it, but I know how they're doing it. This is it, guys. They're gonna make it where solo play is no longer a thing. They're gonna make the quest mobs sit like fucking raid bosses. So all the DPS need a tank and a healer. So you're gonna have to be running in 5-man groups, and that just to do quests. That's it. Done deal.
Well, it's going to take a long time for some people to get to 110 men, because some people just don't play that way.
Yeah, no, I'm joking 100%. I would hate it if they did that.
I have good intentions on leveling with people. I really do. And I really am like, yes, let's all be besties and let's go together, team. Then after like the 4th quest, I'm like, oh, I gotta go shave my cat. My kids are on fire. I got stuff to do. We'll definitely do this later. And then I always make excuses. It's not because I don't want to level with my friends. If we could just sit there on Skype or Zoom and hang out while I'm leveling, that's great. But I don't want to watch you run around and pick berries, right? While I'm trying to do my shit and I'm trying to get in, get out, and go and do stuff. So I typically, although I enjoy the social aspect of leveling together, and sometimes I do think it's fun, but 99% of the time I don't really fancy, unless it's dungeons, right? Questing specifically, I don't like to go do the cha-cha with others. Doesn't mean I don't love you guys, so don't, if you're one of my people that I level with, don't be offended. Don't go away angry, just go away.
Just go away?
Just go away. Just kidding. All right, so let's see what we've got question-wise. Let's see what we've got. So, we have got... Remedy wants to know if there's any kind of Pwnecast apparel or items we can buy or future items we can get. Funny you should mention that. It's almost as if this was planned, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have 2 different situations that are going to be coming out regarding Pwnecast apparel. We are in workings out. It's going to be pretty legit stuff, guys. I'm not going to lie. We do have a super secret project that I'm hoping to get the finals on this weekend so that we can launch that next week. So make sure you guys are watching the page for that cool stuff, because the super secret project, it's going to be pretty awesome. But we are making that available pretty soon. So yes, Remedy, a random person off the street who came to ask us that question. Thank you for that. I didn't pay him to ask that either, just so we're clear. For Bloke, Dreo wants to know, a bacon mount, a bacon weapon, or a bacon quest for bacon rep?
That's a trick question.
All the bacons.
All the fucking bacon. No, there will be no more bacon anything until Blizzard actually live up to what they said in the Q&A of 2 years ago and put
Bacon's
bacon
in
in
the
the damn
game. They
thing.
already did
It
that.
is. They have a data mine.
No, there's
until you see
there should
it,
be
right?
like a big mound of bacon in the inn, just sparkling with goodness and happiness, and every time you eat some, you get like a buff that lasts for like a year.
He's saying you must choose, so you have to. So
I would take a bacon weapon, I think. I would like to defeat my foes with a bacon weapon.
Yeah, but when you eat your weapon, what are you going to fight with?
I'll have spare bacon to eat, but it's my fighting bacon.
He'll kill pigs with his bacon
don't
weapon.
eat your fighting bacon, Jim. That's the moral
That's
of the
true.
story. You don't
That's
eat
true.
your fighting
Exactly.
bacon.
I'm new around here. I'm just learning.
Let's see.
And I'll
for
get you up to
Hots.
speed on bacon, don't you worry.
Hot shots. Why is he sniffing Pikachu?
I'm not sniffing Pikachu. I'm just sitting here like this,
Snuggling.
sitting it within my mouth, thinking.
Soiled
Because
myself.
Pikachu smells like bacon.
That's weird that he would smell like bacon, because I don't know what the fuck you do in there. It's kind of creepy.
Bacon.
Soiled myself wants to know, will there be Pwnecast adult toys?
Murky's working on that as well.
I say we'd have to talk to Penicorn about that.
It's so awkward. I can't even deal.
If by adult toys you mean drinking assistants, like big flagons of like Pwnecast branded vodka or something, then I'd be all for
I
that.
would be in. We do have a lot of things in the works for Pwnecast stuff, actually. I need to get with a few people. I have a person who is very close to me who is going to be doing a Pwnecast vape line, capturing all of our personalities.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty legit.
How do you taste elitist?
Ooh.
It's salty.
Yeah.
That's
well,
right. But
Well, for you guys.
yeah, we do have a lot of cool stuff coming in the works. I don't really know that anybody's interested in buying anything Pwnecast shit related anyway. I would buy all the Pwnecast things because clearly I'm fucking team Pwnecast. But we do have a lot of cool stuff in the works, especially in relation to BlizzCon as well. Lots of things that we've keeping super secret safe because we don't want anybody to know our dark secrets. But
I think that was one of the cool things of me joining too. You guys, or we now, have so many things on the go with the website, the podcast, the channel. It's the guild, the Facebook groups. Very exciting to be a part of. A lot of stuff.
oh, Pwnecast figures or plushies. We should get somebody to crochet us some stuff, right?
I got tons of old
I
ladies.
got scared when I-
Anatomically correct, which is easy to do because you don't need much of parts for that for most of you fellas here.
I just
with your-
better go get some more yarn.
Excuse me.
I'll go out and get
I'm
some
not saying
sticks.
anybody has anything to worry about, but
I'll get some
Hold on.
sticks or something, and I'll make
I'm looking
myself.
for Mrs. Lakin.
Women don't tell the men the truth, guys. They tell you it's not the size that counts, which is a fucking lie. If your girlfriend or your wife tells you it's not the size that counts, it's how you use it, she is lying to you because that's not reality. It's not reality.
Write my name well.
Just gonna throw that out there. Let's see. I just want to double check to see if there's any more questions. Questions are going to be closing in about 4 minutes.
I think we had to do pops.
What?
Like little figurine, like the pop head things.
I don't think anybody would buy our crap. You know?
Have you guys ever thought about ordering your characters? I've looked at that where they have the model of your character.
I know,
It's like
I wanted to do it last expansion before they changed the model.
I changed Transmog's way too many times.
That's actually a good point. And speaking from a collector's point of view, as high as I might be, the figure prints when they first came out were genuinely amazing. The fact that you could get the full figure, or you could get just a bust-sized one of your character, they were amazing. They were amazing quality for the product in that time. We're roughly about 7 years down the track now, and there's been no improvements to it whatsoever.
oh, they've been around that long?
They've been around for a long, long time. The technology in terms of 3D printing and painting and all that has come leaps and bounds and then some, but unfortunately Figureprints hasn't. The quality now, for the price of what you pay to get those, I really wouldn't recommend it. I've seen plenty of people get them and been super excited, and then they finally get them, and they do take a long time to get to, and then just be not bitterly disappointed, but not far off it. Just so there's my little... There you go. There's my legit blokes bullshit segment.
Woo!
Covered it.
We do have one final question, and then I'm going to close out that question so that we can close out the show. From watching you for Gemma, I've seen a lot of your vids about pets, and I see a lot of people who make a lot of gold by buying and selling pets. However, I'm kind of a noob when it comes to this. How can I buy and sell pets without being worried about losing my gold in the process? That's a great question.
Great question. And actually, I want to shout you out for watching the most electrifying YouTube channel about pet battles. Thank you so much. But as far as the pets go, I've been doing it for a long time, actually. I've got a couple videos on there. It always depends on your bank stack or your gold stack, and you don't want to, if you don't know, don't just go buy them. And of course, if you're talking a couple hundred gold, it's not a big deal. It's not a big loss. If you're talking a couple thousand, then you really want to make sure, what pets you're buying and selling. So it's hard to give you an exact answer. What I can tell you is I've dedicated my life to pet battles. So if you are on the channel and you want to know about how much certain pets cost or what they go for, I'll definitely answer. I've seen different pets on a variety of servers, so I can give you a good answer. But it's just, if it doesn't feel right and you're in a couple thousand gold range, just ask before you pull the trigger. And if it's a couple hundred gold, go ahead and buy. But just keep your eye on the market. You'll see how prices change and fluctuate, and they do fluctuate in the thousands. So keep going, and best of luck, of course.
Good answer. Cash also had a question. When will you guys interview the cast of Sharknado 3 live on Pwnecast? Never?
That'd be on a very special once-off, never-to-be-seen episode.
I've never seen Sharknado, any of them.
Probably never going to
It's
do it.
amazing. It's amazing.
But that's probably never going to happen, Cash, unless you pay me money.
You can get Darknado.
If you want to send...
Ooh.
Would that be a happy medium? Is that how we could make that relevant? We could interview Darknado.
Maybe.
Put a shark head on him? Maybe.
We could do that.
Life as a ginger paladin, and wow.
He said boo. So we are going to go ahead and close up shop, guys. We did have a really, really great show. For those of you who joined us live, we do appreciate you coming to hang out with us. Also, for those of you who are listening to this on iTunes and Google Play, make sure you give us a rate. Tell us what you think. Also, make sure you check out the YouTube channel as well, because you do miss a lot of good things. You miss a lot of good facial expressions and whatnot just listening to the audio. As always, make sure you guys go and check out our Facebook page. We also have a Facebook group. And make sure you guys are checking out the pwnecastdailyquest.com for your news source information, fuckery, guides,
Boom.
all the 90 million things that we do on PDQ. But I do want to make sure that I thank you guys for spending your hour and a half, 2 hours with us every week. We do appreciate the fact that you guys... I don't know why you guys waste your time on us. We're a bunch of fucking losers.
I
I
do.
love that you guys do it anyway, and it's good for me. So we are going to go ahead and get on out of here, and we will see you guys live next week. And oh my God, the Pikachu. I can't, guys. I can't.
You can. Go ahead.
No, I
It's like a
can't.
mutant.
Why is he sitting on your bed is what's creeping me the fuck out.
Why wouldn't he be sitting on my bed? Where else is he gonna
see
go?
his
On the
expression
ground?
in that background?
No one
Like-
puts Pikachu in the corner.
Do you
He's
cuddle
the-
with him?
No one puts Pikachu in the corner. No, I don't cuddle with him.
He was in the corner staring
He
at
was
me.
in
the
the
whole
corner.
show.
Pikachu doesn't go in the
He was in the corner.
Pokeball.
The corner is
He-
more that way. He was
If
on the
he's got a
wall.
really suspicious looking hole in his bunny.
That's so nasty. You
I'm
nasty.
onto you.
Tag.
Does
Nasty.
Auntie know what you do? with
Oh
your-
my god.
Nothing happens to Pikachu.
What do you do with the arms?
They're too short for anything. Better chance to do it.